So I have a hole in my screen. I can still do other clubs and whatnot, but for the driver, I really have to set aside days to go out to the course and practice the driver. Um, Back to this sort of overarching theme on my channel, which is, practicing with purpose. For me, I really want to make sure I have like an extraordinary amount of time set aside for chipping and bunker shots. Um, I would do putting, but the problem with putting is the greens are so different that I don't know. I would rather just focus on the chipping. That's one thing I like to have in the bag. For me, I'm not like the world's worst putter or anything like that, but anyways, the chipping stuff. We still have to make time for all the other stuff. So today, we're going to do driver. I want to talk a little bit about some of the problems that I've had with my driver and those corrections that it got me to where I'm at. I feel like I'm a pretty strong driver actually of the ball. Um, I've definitely had some pretty rough times with the driver, and so I've only been golfing for like, I don't know, 5.5 years or something like that. And oddly oddly enough, the like second or third year I was golfing, my driver was very accurate. Like I had several league days where I would literally not miss a fairway, and we only played 9 holes in our league. I had a couple of days where I did not miss a fairway, and for me, that's like absolutely fantastic. Um, but anyways, when I first started golfing, I didn't have much swing power, like a club and a half even of what most other people. Like most of the guys I play with are older than me, and like they're like blasting it past me like no problem. So of course, what did I do? After I had a pretty good season one year, like the third year I was playing golf, and I was hitting these fairways, my buddy turns to me and says, "Dude, what you need now is power." And of course, that just sunk in pretty deep with me. As someone who, prides himself on being like pretty fit and kind of decently strong, um, I'm just thinking to myself, "There's no way these guys should be out driving me." Anyways, a little bit of ego there. So what I did is I spent a winter just following up with really developing speed in the golf swing. And of course, the nice thing is when you have a simulator, you have the luxury of being able to go in there and trying different things to develop the power. So the following year, after I went from having a pretty good year of being like very, very accurate, I developed some speed, quite a bit of speed. And the following year, I had like one of the worst seasons I've had since I've been playing golf. I could not hit a fairway. Like the ball was fairly long, but I couldn't. I'm telling you, the ball it would be like a fairway, the widest fairway you would ever see, and I would hit it a hook right off the tee, or I'd try to correct it on the course and hit like a dead slice. I mean, there was nothing I could do to get it on the fairway. Um, so, anyways, I've been kind of on this path of how do I find that accurate drive, and I this year I think I found it again, and oddly enough, the method to which I was using to swing the club to begin with before I started swinging with power, I'm actually back to something of that method. Yeah, yeah. I'm back to something of that method. And I think now that I know how to generate power correctly, well, I say correctly, generate power for me is going to be probably different than a lot of other people, especially when, I'm not like a great golfer, so I'm probably not swinging mechanically correct, like to totally optimize the power that's available. But anyways, back to I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a screen. I'm going to go find this online. And when I publish this video, I'll put it on the video somewhere. There is this sort of magic position to be in. And I say magic because it's not a secret, but the way it works is mysterious. It's mysterious to me. I don't totally understand it, so I'm not going to totally try to dive into why it works. But there's, I don't know, it's widely known that when you take your backswing on your driver, you want to be as wide and as lengthy as possible. And there's, when I say, hopefully I'll find that screenshot, like I said, where it'll have these some of the best drivers in the game today, and it'll be basically a screenshot of what they look like in their backswing. And when you apply that to your backswing, I think you'll find that your shot shape will get a lot more consistent. Of course, there's a lot more to it than just the takeaway and getting into. I think the pros, or like PGA professionals, they call this position that I'm talking about P2. So you have like takeaway, and then you have like this other checkpoint, and I'll show you on the range. But effectively, that if you've ever seen someone on the range, or even like about to take a stroke on a golf course, and they bring that club back, like they're not swinging yet, they bring the club back, and then they look at the head of the club and like double check where that club is at. There's a couple of things there that you could be checking, or that person could be looking at. And I didn't understand this when I first started golfing, and I saw people doing that sort of checkpoint. But the two things that they're probably checking is club face angle, and they're feeling exactly where that P2 position should be before they start doing the rest of their swing. So that's what we're going to get into today. We're going to get into that P2 position. And then another piece of what I want to talk about for me, which really helps my consistency. And I'll make a little, actually I have two things I want to talk about, two additional things that I want to talk about which produce consistency for me in the driver. So one of them is how do the wrists work? And the other one is, I lost my train of thought. So one is how the wrist works, essentially like how do you cock the wrist, how do you apply pressure, how do you do your release. I want to talk about that. And then the other one that I want to talk about, which is very, very important for me, because one of my problems I have with my swing is I sway. And to fix that sway, I'll make a bit of a correlation here, or an analogy is a better term. So if you ever spent any time with like a rifle or shooting a pistol, if you anticipate that shot, and you can really see this when people anticipate their shot. If you anticipate that shot, it throws your accuracy way off. So one way to test this, and we did this in the military, is you put dummy rounds in your magazine, and then it would be randomly in there. And as you cycle through your rounds, you get to that dummy round and you didn't know it was there, and you pull that trigger. And what happens, especially with a pistol, you'll see people like really dive because they're holding it and they're compensating as they get that recoil. Well, to me, there's a similar thing with the backswing and swinging the club and being ready. And I don't know if other pros do this or if Tiger was doing this. I have no idea. But for me, when I started doing this sort of not anticipating the swing, it's crazy because something can happen on my backswing and I can actually just stop in the middle of my backswing. And some people are like, holy crap, how can you just stop like that? Well, it's because I'm not anticipating the downswing. So when I go up and get in P2, after P2, then I start essentially building tension. But on the way up to P2, in my mind, I'm trying to pretend like I am not about to hit a golf ball. I am just trying to get in a predictable position. So again, all these things, I don't know if they're helpful for you or even if this is the right advice. I think ultimately you should go out there and you should have a lot of different things to try, especially if you're someone trying to break 90, or maybe you're a better golfer than that and all of a sudden you lost your golf swing. I think everyone should try these things because what I'm talking about, I don't think they're so detrimental to your swing that you're going to mess everything up. If anything, you might unlock something. Who knows? Today at the golf course, I don't really know how busy it's going to be. We're in the middle of winter here. It's actually a really nice day, but there's not much sun out there. Hopefully there's not much people out there and I can go through a little bit of this stuff with the golf club in hand. So I think with that, I'll see you on the golf course and we'll explore a little bit of these different techniques. And again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I have like 0 subscribers, relatively speaking to these guys that have like millions. So please subscribe and you'll get to know me a little bit. I'll produce content every day. And I really want these to be long format videos because these aren't meant for perfection and clickbait. This is day in the life, real golf at like a 9, 10 handicap. I don't know. In other videos, I said 8 handicap. Honestly, I don't really know. I didn't keep my gen. But anyways, back to the theme of these videos. Long format, real life, not cutting out the bad shots. You know, I really want to document the entire process. So next time I turn the camera on, we'll be on the course. Maybe talking a little low because there's people out on the range. I don't want to disturb them. All right, so I did warm up. Hit some 9 irons just to kind of warm up the body. And then we're going to get right into this. So there's kind of 3 things, like I said. There's that, I think, P2. If I'm wrong about that, just comment that in the video. I think it's P2. I really want to get P2 correct. Not anticipate that shot. So I haven't hit one yet. I typically play a cut. And I can hit a draw too, so let's see if we can hit a cut. It's like a sky ball. It is cutting though. Honestly, kind of fell out of that. Let's see if I can get a better spot to stand. Yeah, this is much better. All right. So this P2. This P2 for me is I really want to go like this. This is what I mean by this. And you get comfortable doing this style swing. Or you just come back, put it right there, and just feel that. Right there. That was a big pull. Okay. And we'll see if I can hit a few. No talking. Okay. Not great. Not great. They're gonna roll like that. And I really don't like where we're standing. I need this cut. So I really want to turn the body to lift. Don't just lift the arms, right? We're not doing this. There it is. A little cut. That's a stock cut. Let's hit 3 of those. And then we'll bring it into a draw. So let's just bring it to P2. There's the cut. Okay. Let's do it again. It's 2. Three. Okay. So I basically found it. So for me, the ball positioning, hands, feet, shoulders, kind of reverse order. So feet, shoulders, hands, and then feel that P2, and then swing from there. Another cut. There it is. The reliable cut. All right. So what do you guys think my ball speed is? I can tell you this. Typically high 150s. I swing hard. I can go 170s, but I can't play golf like that. So let's hit some draws. So draw for me is P2, is the club head is like armpit level instead of up here. And then I'll be inside out. And I'll always hit that draw. So draw. Honestly, I don't know how many of those I can do because I will hit them off the range. So again, we're not going to do a ton of these because I don't need a ton of driver work. I really want to feel that P2 and hit the cut. Because if I hit draws, I'm going to hit off the range. Feet inside my left heel. Get to P2 with no anticipation. Okay.